From 13 ABC, Conklin and Company, with 13 ABC Action News anchor Lee Conklin. First, with what's happening behind the headlines. And Take 3, our panel of political analysts.
Morning, everybody. Welcome into another edition of Conklin and Company. Today on the program, the new edict from the new mayor: travel out of Toledo Express if you're on city business. So we'll talk about that. Plus, funding for homeless shelters now really under the microscope, now more than ever before over the last year or so. Ignacio Messina from The Blade joins us coming up in Take 3 a little bit later on. Also, it actually happened in 1912, but we're going to preview the sinking of the Titanic, the exhibition at the Imagination Station coming up next month. It will last for more than a couple of months, and it's a big deal. And Lori Hauser from the Imagination Station here to talk about that. But first, the little neighborhood organization that could. Over the years, it's been relentless, determined, inspiring, and really an organization that I think refuses to take no for an answer. Maybe they can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Terry Glazer, CEO of United North, and Beth Lewandowski, board president of United North, in studio this morning.
Good to see you, Lee.
Good to see both of you. You know, it's interesting how sometimes the guests evolve here on Conklin and Company. You know, we were at your meeting this past week.
Yes. Packed
house over there. Everybody's so engaged. And that's what United North is all about. And that's why I said we got to have United North on. Or is it One Village? Or the LaGrange Village Council? The Polish Village? All the names that come together, Terry.
We use whatever name is convenient at the time.
But it is an organization of many people, but
yes.
Truly of one.
Yes, and United North is the development corporation. One Village is a name that we gave to the neighborhood. One standing for Old North End. And of course, the One Village Council is the action arm of the community. So we have these entities, but you know, when you're dealing with a neighborhood, you need all the entities that you can gather.
Yeah, and it's more than just about a neighborhood really striving to be better. It's about a neighborhood that has reached out, that has turned into a development organization, community organization, from an infrastructure standpoint.
Yes.
Let's make this neighborhood, not just so the houses look better, so the main street looks better. People have a better chance at a better quality of life. And that's what I think of when I think of United North, Beth. Big order of business going on right now is the St. Hedwig Senior Center.
St. Hedwig School that's been vacant for 10 years. And we are putting a proposal in to convert that into 41 units of senior housing, which will be a dynamic project. It's a beautiful old building, and it will bring people back to the business district and provide housing for people of, I don't want to say older, but...
go ahead. It's okay.
I'll say older. And so it provides so many things for our neighborhood when we're able to get that project done.
All right, Beth, and your role as board president in all of this that is United North.
Right. Well, as board president, we are a policy board. We oversee, we basically give direction and enhancement from what Terry brings us, various projects, and then we okay or you know, yes or no them, and basically work hand in hand with the staff of United North to be able to complete the projects that we take on. But like you say, we're more than just the projects. We are the residents. I've lived in the neighborhood for almost 40 years now. My husband is a lifetime resident, and you know, people think of One Village as people coming and going, but we do have a lot of people who've lived there their entire lives, and this is where we call home. And we really, really work hard to make our neighborhood, our One Village, a place that people can call home.
I think this group is the longest sustained effort of any neighborhood in Northwest Ohio. And part of the success is reaching out to neighborhood people. And some people think, well, if I distribute some flyers, they'll all appear. But just like advertising, sometimes you need to advertise 4, 5, 6 different times before a product is sold.
Let's saturate it.
Yes,
right?
And so we go door to door. We'll use flyers, we'll use phone calls, anything that it takes to help attract people, get their opinions, and build leadership in the neighborhood.
It's much more than going to the Ohio Theater or and talking about Fat Tuesday and Punchki Day, and I think that there are connotations with United North or the Polish Village, Terry, Beth, and that's one of them. But in the news for a couple of years was the renovation of the Ohio Theater.
Yes.
And beautiful, the inside, but you still got a little ways to go here, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We've only done phase one. We've done some renovation on the inside, made some improvements, and back to programming now at the theater. But we have the whole another phase to go through.
Yeah, we're taking a look at what we want to see on the outside, right? I mean, we saw the vision there, and then of course inside, beautiful inside.
Right.
So, but that was an example of getting something done over time that took some legwork in terms of funding, grants, what have you. So how does that begin, that process begin, Terry?
Well, the first important thing is it's a project that the community wants to happen. You have to get community support. And then it's not that complicated. You got to figure out what the project costs and figure out where the sources of funds might be. And in this case, we were able to raise $1.2 million for phase one. And it's a work in progress. So that was enough to open the theater. And as you say, we still have some more work to do. We still need to raise another $1.5 million. We're already on our way. The county commissioners announced a $50,000 contribution. I just found out this morning that Mercy is making a donation. So we're on our way on the second phase. But we have an operating theater, and that's the important thing.
That is awesome. For lack of a better term, I think the most overly used word here in the 2000s, but it really is. It truly is. Another order of business, somewhat controversial, is this situation with the Summit Street YMCA. The possibility that a charter school could go in there. You like to see a community center, the neighborhood kind of take ownership of this. Beth, speak to that.
Right. Well, as you know, TPS and other groups around the city are collaborating with the Head Start grant and other proposals. And we have been working at United North through what we call our OVAC committee, which is One Village Action Committee, to put together a Cradle to Career program, promise neighborhoods in our area. And when we sort of been partnering with TPS on all of this, as seeing them as a partner along the way with the project. And then all of a sudden we found out that there was a chance that the Summit Y would be sold to Concepts, which owns Horizon Science Academy. And TPS had actually written into their proposal for the Head Start program that building as a site, hopefully to have a whole cradle to second grade program. Social services, educational services, Head Start, a lot of different things, health clinic in there. And so when we came sort of late to the table in discovering that they had made or Horizons had already made a proposal. So we're working with the Y now to see if there's some way that they can sort of see the vision that we have, that TPS has, that United North has, that the residents have. For what could happen with the future generations in our neighborhood, and that is getting them prepared to be productive citizens. Cradle to Career is a dynamic program. If we can get this all together to make sure we basically create a strong future for our neighborhood.
Interesting wording there, Beth. You said working with the YMCA. So as we're here this morning, where does it stand in working with the Y right now, Terry?
I wouldn't lie to you that we may have an uphill battle, but I believe the formula for success is persistence and neighborhood support. And therefore, we're going to be having a neighborhood meeting on January 30th and present the Y and the Horizons an opportunity to give their ideas for their proposal, but let them know what the community wants. This is, in my opinion, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We didn't do very well in our community with the first Head Start proposal, but the community has come together. It's a beautiful thing. And so now, if we don't allow that program to go into that space, that neighborhood is going to lose something so valuable. To have a multi-phase community center in that neighborhood is so important.
So this effort is sort of a microcosm of what United North is all about, right?
Yeah.
And I have a hunch that if you have that meeting with the Y, that won't be the only meeting. And like I said at the beginning, you probably don't take no for an answer, at least initially. Right?
No, the idea, you don't have to be brilliant to do this work. You just have to be persistent.
Yeah, that's what we've seen you a lot over the years, Terry, with some tremendous causes. Thanks very much for coming in, United North. Terry Glazer, Beth Lewandowski, thanks very much.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. All right, Beth. We're going to come back in just a minute. Conklin & Company continues right after this.